Hotep, I don't even know how to even come into this podcast today after that wonderful rendition of the Negro spiritual. Lift every voice and sing. What a very, very powerful performance. And in most regards, I can't say it's a performance because it's a lived experience that these young people have brought before us today with their musical talents. And I'm just happy to be a part of an opportunity to talk with them, to kind of find out what went into making that video, and just what their life stories have been with regards to Christianity and spirituality and being a member of this phenomenal gospel choir. And so let me introduce my guests for today, members of the Gospel and Cultural Choir, starting with Hector Garcia de Leon, who is the president of the choir and has been a member for 4 years. He is a journalism student minoring in Spanish. Then we have Lord Jeannie Lamont. She is the treasurer of the gospel choir. She is a junior majoring in public administration and minoring in early childhood development and education. Lord Jeannie enjoys singing, dancing, and traveling. So maybe we'll get a chance to see at least 2 of the 3 today when she comes on. Next, we have Tiffany Pugh, and is the membership chair of the GCC. She is a public administration student minoring in nonprofit management. And since COVID began, she has become an avid podcast listener. And I figure out whether or not she's listening to this one. So we'll hope that she is. And then we have Elizabeth T. Holmes, who is a health science major on the preclinical track here at the university. This year, she serves as the parliamentarian, and she's going to keep us in check throughout this podcast. All right. So let's talk to you all and see how you're doing. Before we even get started, let me just check in with you all and see how is this pandemic, how is all the stuff that's happening in Black and brown communities, how is all this affecting you in your ride right now?
It's been a journey, I can say. You know, this pandemic has hit the choir pretty hard, you know, as we're such a close family. You know, when you sing as a choir, you sing together, you travel together, and we haven't been able to do everything that we usually do, but luckily we found a way to have some type of normalcy, but also, you know, being safe and taking those COVID-19 health precautions to make sure our members are safe, but still enjoying the traditions that the gospel choir hold.
Nice. Elizabeth and Lord Janine, I saw you come through. How are you doing?
I've been pretty good by the grace of God. I can only give him credit for the peace that I feel in the midst of everything going on. But I can relate to Hector in terms of like how the pandemic has really affected the choir. In the previous semesters, the choir has really served as a comfort space, you know, a support system. And so we really did rely on each other in terms of just the things that we were going on, praying for each other, being open and sharing. And the pandemic has taken a bit of that away, but we try as much as possible to still stay connected and fellowship as much as we can.
Okay, so, yeah. Great. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to share that the Gospel and Culture Choir were actually at Disney World when we found out that we weren't able to come back to school after spring break. And honestly, that just shows how bonded we were right before and how much we miss each other because of COVID and the regulations. But we're still trying to do our best together, still trying to hold each other up in prayer and in just community. So that's how we're doing right now.
Thank you for sharing that, Tiffany. And Elizabeth, how are you doing?
Well, to piggyback off of what Tiffany said, off of what everyone said, it is crazy to see how right before the pandemic, we were all together back to back performing daily. And then we went, months without seeing each other. So it definitely was hard, but I'm glad we're able to get back into the groove of getting to see each other and, being able to perform again with all of the regulations.
Excellent. So we can't start this conversation really without talking about that video and what it took to put it together. What was the mastermind behind that, and how did you all come together and do that? Because it was recent, I assume. I noticed that you all were doing your safety precaution, distancing, and all those other things because you were definitely putting air out there. So what was that like, and who masterminded it, and who put it together, and all those things?
Right. So UCF Communications and UCF Today actually reached out to us to collaborate on this project because they wanted to produce a Black History Month video. And because of a previous event that we performed in last summer on campus, they automatically knew that they wanted to work with the Gospel and Cultural Choir.
Is this the Juneteenth celebration?
That was, yes. When we performed at the Juneteenth celebration last summer in June, UCF Communications and UCF Today was there, and they fell in love with our performance. And so for Black History Month, they reached out to us again and wanted to collaborate on this music video. And so when we were, deciding what songs should we sing, like a regular gospel song? Should we sing, a Negro spiritual? And then it kind of came down to, I think we need to sing Lift Every Voice, the Black national anthem, because it's such a powerful song and it's something that we need in our climate today.
Yes.
We need to show that we're unified and that we need to move forward as a country, and Lift Every Voice was the perfect song to go.
Excellent. And what did it take to rehearse it and put it together and think about how you were going to kind of map it out in terms of, the recording of it?
So we work closely with the UCF communications team to figure out what would be the best plan of action. Mm-hmm. We decided that we would record in small groups at different locations across campus, as you see in the video. Right. We would do it 3 groups per location so that we would be able to socially distance ourselves and still be able to see each other and hear each other well.
Yeah.
And then we would make sure that we would rehearse well before, and then right before you sang, we had our mask on, and then right after we sang, we had our mask on. So the only time we weren't having our mask on was while singing.
Okay, so let me ask Lord Jeannie real quick. So you all were singing live out on the different areas of campus at that time. So what was it like to kind of mix your voices, and who was involved with making sure that the person who was over in the Jad T. Watson area picked up with the people who were over by the fountain and things along those lines?
Well, we surrounded those that were in the frame. So although you don't see it in the video, we were in the background, just still singing to make sure that we were matching our, each other's voices. And also the communications team, they also had us use ear pods.
Monitors that you put in your ear. Yeah.
So it was definitely set up for success, for sure.
Very neat. So that's really cool, the behind the scenes part, right? So most people watching that will be like, okay, they recorded that piece and then they ran over here and they recorded that other piece, but you all actually have clipped it together in terms of you were singing various parts of the song, but your whole team singing, but just the people who were on screen being visualized. Powerful.
Yes. So we saw they took clips from here and there and they put it together, and that's how it came together.
That's really pretty cool because it actually sounds very much like it was a very, I guess, streamed version of that. So the person who played the violin is a member of the choir or someone that you brought in?
Yes, she is part of the soprano section, and she also happens to violin, so that's like a perfect addition to the
Okay.
choir.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. And so when you think about this project and what you all put out there, what does it mean to you?
Similar to what Hector says, like during this the climate of today's like society, like it's really important that people understand it's not just Black voices coming together to stand against injustices or to stand up for the truth. Like we all should stand up and lift our voices, not just singing, but like our actual voices, and be advocates for things that matter, really.
Excellent, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. So let me hear, Tiffany or Elizabeth, what was that experience like for you?
I enjoyed recording this song so much. I remember always singing it at church while I was growing up in all three verses, never just one verse, but all three verses. To
And
hear
it's the
the
hardest, it's one
entire
of the hardest songs ever to sing.
right. Me and my sister have like surprisingly mastered all the verses, thank God. But I love this song because it is so truthful in addressing the injustices that have happened to different people. Sing a song full of the hope, full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. There was a dark past. And there are still dark times even now, but sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us to push on, you know?
Yeah.
So I love the truth that the song brings.
So what's your favorite song to sing from the gospel choir?
Right now is a song called It Won't Work. And the lyrics are, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, it won't work. Right now, there's a lot of things coming at us as students, as teachers. We're adjusting to a lot of things, but it reminds me to remember that because of God, his protection, not anything that comes against me won't destroy me.
Prosper, yeah. So who's the artist that who brought that song into your sphere?
So I don't remember the singer, but the director, her name is Arthurine Duhaney. She's doing her master's at UCF, and she introduced the song to the choir, and I instantly fell in love with it because it's so much energy attached to it.
Excellent, excellent. And so you just brought that up. How many members actually are in the choir right now?
Right now, about 24 active members. Right now, yes.
Okay. So Elizabeth, how about you? What was your take on recording and being a part of this?
I get to be a part of this process for this long. But it was amazing to see how the club came together and how everybody got to work together, and how everything, you know, came apart. But I do agree with everybody that came before me. You know, this song, it meant so much, not only to me, but to everyone else, because we have to remember to lift up our voice. We have to remember to always speak up and that we have a voice. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So I want to ask each of you all, I asked Tiffany what her favorite song is. Do you all have other songs that stand out that that are really important to you and maybe provide a message to you?
My favorite song last semester, I want to say, was my first semester with the choir, and my favorite song was called We Win. We actually learned that, well, I learned that song in one day right before performing, and the lyrics say, we will fight and we will win, and we seek victory in every trial we're in. So that really stood with me because we will fight, we do have victory over everything that we're in. So I stand by that, or I live by that, try to.
Nice, nice, nice. Hector?
So one of my favorite songs that we sing in the choir is called My Worship is For Real. It's a slow worship song, but the words are so powerful in showing that your worship has to be for real and your worship is for real. No matter, what type of worship you project, that it is more than welcoming to God.
Nice, 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 nice. And who else did I get? I got Tiffany, I heard Elizabeth. Oh, Lord Janine.
So my favorite song currently is I Will Bless the Lord. And basically it says, I will bless the Lord at all times. And it's really comforting in this season, and also like a reminder and encouragement, like bless him at all times. Like the pandemic shouldn't stop me from giving, God the glory. So yeah, that's really sticking with me at the moment.
So I remember I sang in the gospel choir at the University of Connecticut some time ago, and I had to audition. So I'm wondering if you all had to audition or you just walk in and just get accepted. So my audition song, because I couldn't come up with a song fast enough to think what I could sing that would be like a solo part or whatever have you. And so I ended up singing a song, it was like a spiritual that, that was just like everybody sings. It was like, and so I'm sitting here singing this song that the whole congregation would sing, and it was just me singing it. So did you all have to go through any of that type of a situation? Maybe as you're answering this, what part do you sing? Are you alto, soprano, tenor, bass, or whatever have you? But do you all remember how you entered into becoming a member of the gospel choir?
Yes, so I joined the gospel choir in the fall or the summer of 2017 as a freshman, and thankfully we are a no audition choir, so we don't require auditions for members to join. We are open to everyone, and we want them to feel welcomed, and that they don't have to have any singing background to join the choir, as we will train you and prepare you when you join.
Excellent, excellent. So most people, Hector, have like experiences where they sang in choirs before?
Yes, most people when they do join, they do have some type of either singing experience, music experience, or just overall church choir
experience. Yeah. And when they are learning these new songs, are they learning them from music, or are they just learning them from? I mean, different choir directors do different things, right? So are you all like listening and hearing the music through like a trained ear, or are you doing it because you just love to sing?
So we learn music by ear. We do not sight read music. So we select songs, and then we teach the songs by parts. So our director will split the songs into 3 parts: soprano, alto, and tenor, and then she will teach the voice parts to each section of the song to the choir.
Okay, excellent. So parts, what parts do you all play? I already told you all that I want you all to try to sing something here. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to test it out. I'm going to be communications and marketing today. I'm going to set you all up.
Oh, thank you. I am a tenor in the choir.
All right, tenor in the choir. All right. Elizabeth, Tiffany, I see you take off.
Oh, I'm an alto.
Okay.
I'm also an alto, but sometimes I help the tenor section.
Okay, with the what section?
The tenor section.
Oh, okay.
Or soprano.
Yeah. All right, cool. And Lord Janine?
I'm a soprano.
Okay, all right. And so when you all are in your groove and you are getting it on and you got people just turning themselves over to the Lord, what is it like? You get to kind of, and I don't want to use this word because I used to be a part of a choir and I used to hate this word. We're not performing. We are singing before the Lord, right? And so when you're singing before the Lord, when do you know you have reached the pinnacle, when you have hit the mark that that people are really in it and are definitely being moved by this experience?
I know when we have hit that mark, when people aren't even focused on us, they're focused on God and presenting their praise and presenting their worship to Him, because it's honestly not about us. We're just tools to push the presence of God into the atmosphere.
Nice.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like when the choir has reached that point, like we are all like ministering, even though we're like still, singing to the crowd or whatnot, but like just seeing like how when we're singing and we're just and we're just in worship. We're not even focused about like what's going on or whatnot. Like we're just worshiping and pouring our hearts out to God. That's when I realized, yeah, like we've hit that mark.
Nice, nice, nice. Do you all have a favorite gospel artist?
One of my favorite gospel artists is definitely Tasha Cobbs. I absolutely love her music, and it's my go-to whenever I know I need to listen to my gospel music for the day. She is definitely my go-to artist.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
Mine is any of the Clark sisters. I love them together, apart.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. That's one of the first songs I learned or heard from the Clark sisters, You made my day.
Yes. I love the Clark sisters so much. My mom is an avid fan of the Clark sisters. And I think because of that, I'm a huge fan of their daughter. Well, at least Karen Clark's daughter. Her name is Kiara Sheard, and she's really big in gospel. And I just appreciate her lyrics, her energy, and her transparency.
It took me a while to get used to Kiara. I because I was listening to her mom so much.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and I have this thing. I don't know how you all feel about this. I have this thing about nepotism and people just getting to be somewhere because their parent or somebody in their life has gotten them there. And so I had a hard time at first accepting her in the gospel world because I was like, you're just really just singing because of and she's gotten a lot better. I don't think where she is now is not where I felt she was when she first started singing. So I give her props.
Definitely. She was even able to play her mom's part in the biopic for their movie. It was so beautiful.
Well, her mom definitely can go up a couple of octaves.
You're so right. You're so right.
So it's something else. Who else are your favorites? Some of your favorites?
For me, it's Travis Green. I just always really enjoyed his music, like way before he even blew up technically. So yeah, Travis Green, Daniel Bowie. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his music is also really good too.
Okay, and Elizabeth?
Mine was the Clark sisters.
Wow. I would have thought it was much younger for you all, but okay, the Clark sisters. All right. I like Yolanda Adams, and there's a song that she does, "Fragile Heart." Today is my mother's birthday. My mom's passed, and that song holds a special place in my heart. I mean, the lyrics don't necessarily go with all those things, but on the day my mom passed, I was playing Yolanda Adams, and that song happened at the right time. So every time that song comes on, it just ministers me it reminds me of my mom, and it's just a beautiful song all the way around. Are there special songs that hit you all that lets you know who you are and whose you are?
One of my favorite songs that I like to listen to is called "I Will Exalt You." I believe it's by Hillsong, and it just keeps on singing. I'm just sing a little bit.
There's something about I know what you're talking about. It's a praise and worship song.
Yes.
And so when you're in praise and worship, and it just starts to just build up in you, even though you're repeating the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Nice. I have to go listen to it now. Others, any song that speaks to you, ministers to you?
I listen to Leandria Johnson's version of Deliver Me every single day, like every single morning, multiple times a day.
Oh, wow.
So I would say that's my song.
Wow. There you go. Deliver me. Okay, thanks.
For me, one of my favorite current songs is actually not really gospel, but it has a gospel artist in it, Jaqueline Carr and Taryn Wells. They did a rendition of one of Taryn Wells, who's a gospel artist, called "Famous For," and basically the song talks about he does what he's famous for, turning water into wine, dying on the cross, and everything that Jesus is known for. He's done so well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that song is absolutely beautiful.
Nice, nice, nice.
And for me, in the moment, it's this song called Promises. It's technically by Maverick City, we say, but the artist in it is Naomi and Chandler Moore. And it is such a great song. Like the first time I listened to it, I was just like, wow, like great is God's faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting, same. I will praise your name. It's such a great song. Like it just ministers to me. And just it reminds me how great God is through everything. Like, so yeah.
So when you guys are out and you get asked to do different engagements, typically you just sing song after song after song. So tell me also, how are you ministering to people, and how is the Bible or verses from the Bible instrumental in some of your message to people who are here to hear you sing?
I think it all relies on the specific songs that we sing. I think we're very particular and very detailed in the songs that we sing and that we choose to sing, especially at different events. I think it all also depends on the type of event that we're singing at. For example, we may not sing the same songs at a Sunday morning church service that we would do at a gospel youth conference. So I think it's all about knowing your audience and knowing what songs may call to them, what songs may they need at that time. Yeah.
So typically, do you just sing, or do you guys kind of do you minister in other ways as well? Am I making sense?
Oh, you're making sense. I just want to give opportunity for other people to.
All right.
Tiffany, you want to go ahead?
Oh, sure. A lot of our members are more than just talented in singing. Some of them, like you saw, can play instruments like the violin. There's other members like Elizabeth. She also does praise dancing. So the concert that we're having soon, we're going to mix like different instruments in our singing and dancing together, because they all work together to lift God up.
Yeah, the dance ministry is a powerful thing. I always will remember this one dance ministry team that did the song Yes Lord, and it's a powerful song in and of itself. And then finding people finding that movement and things along those lines to kind of make that song come to life even more so than just the vocal part of it. So a lot of what you all do is to bring people to Christ, right? Is to help people understand what it means to be a Christian and things along those lines. And so it's part of your ministry also encouraging people. I mean, you can do, or do you find yourself just going in to sing, then you're done and you go on about your business? Or are you all there to kind of go into the crowd and to minister and to talk and to do other things to beyond just the vocal performance?
From my experience, sorry.
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
So from my experience, a lot of the times when we're singing together, we are touching and impacting other people, but at the same time, it's helping us. Because I know personally, when I went seeking the choir, it was because I was at this school, this brand new big school. I didn't know anybody. But joining the choir, I had that community of people like me, like they grew up in church or grew up singing. And so that was it brought me peace of mind knowing that I had a community there. And so when we go out and perform, we go and we sing. And I guess the people, we don't necessarily, well, sometimes we go out and we talk to the people, or we'll stay behind, enjoy the service, and do a lot of fellowshipping and talking to people. But a lot of the times I want to say that we're singing and we're helping ourselves and other people with our message and with the song.
You're more a part of the whole experience, not necessarily your goal is to really to be a support, no matter how and whatever way you can kind of bring that to the table. So what went into the choice for your song on Juneteenth? What went into saying, okay, we're going to sing this particular song? Do you think about who your voices are, who's going to be there the day of, or what goes into that kind of planning?
So for Juneteenth, we sang 2 selections, one of them being Lift Every Voice, and the other being called a Negro spiritual called Ain't Gonna Let Nobody. And we chose those songs because it was right after, the George Floyd murder, and we knew that these 2 songs were going to be impactful to our audience.
Okay.
So we did Lift Every Voice because, again, it's the Black national anthems, and being that it was a Juneteenth event, we knew that we had to sing that one. Mm-hmm. And then we also sang Ain't Gonna Let Nobody because of the words that it has. I ain't gonna let nobody hold me down, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Mm-hmm. Which is like a call saying that no matter who you are, I'm not gonna let you, get in my face. I'm not gonna let you destroy me, and send that kind of message. And so for that event, we only had about 4 or 5 people. We worked together to make sure our voices blended and that we were all balanced. Before.
And you sang the lead in that song.
I did sing the lead in that song.
So who chooses who sings lead? And do you guys bring songs and say, hey, I love this song, I would love to sing the lead on it? Or do you all kind of move and bring songs and find the right person to lead it?
At the moment, we allow people who feel led to come up and lead the song. But in prior semesters, sometimes like the director would see they'll have like a vision of who they see leading the songs, and that's how it would go about. Yeah.
So the director is somebody who is affiliated with UCF. Is it a student as well, or is it a faculty or staff member, or who's the director of the choir?
So currently at the moment we have a student director, but prior to the pandemic, we did have directors from outside of UCF, either who used to be part of the choir. There were some directors that we've met. We had an alumni event, and there were directors who used to be in the choir themselves. They, led choir at one point.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of things sometimes.
And the choir has been in existence now how long?
We've been in existence for over 40 years. We started in the fall of 1979.
Wow. So you guys are really living up to the legacy of this here at UCF.
Certainly trying to.
Mm-hmm. And how much of your studies are interrupted by these different performances and things that you all do?
Surprisingly, well, for me personally, not much of my studies are interrupted, because when there are performances, we have a big enough choir to where different people can come in. So if one person is busy, another person can come in that day. So a lot of the times it doesn't, or other times we become each other's, we study together. Yeah. So we have GCC study days or study nights where we'll all get on Zoom one day now because of the pandemic, and we'll all study together. Or a lot of us will have similar majors, and we'll go and we'll form study groups, study sessions.
All right. And so I guess another question I have then is, when you all consider the rehearsals that you do and other things that are going on, and you go out and you take on this challenge, what do you want the message to be to the folks who you're ministering to?
For me, I want the audience to really get the message that we are a gospel choir, we may be a student organization, but we are also a ministry. You know, we have a purpose to fulfill and goals to fulfill, to really reach out to the community and move forward the kingdom of God.
Nice. And so when you think about the video that you all created with the National Spiritual, when you think about that, Lift Every Voice and Sing, are you thinking of other recording opportunities now, or have you had other recording opportunities? Is there a UCF choir album or CD out there somewhere, or is that something that you're all considering in the future now that you've had this experience?
We're definitely considering doing more virtual performances now that we see that we're able to do them, especially if they're outside. I know that we have a few booking requests for virtual performances, and we're so ready to start doing that. I think we're going to start
right
filming.
now here in Matters of Diversity. I'm ready. Let's see. Y'all ready?
We can. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna say,
Yes.
Tiffany, she can lead us. She can show us what the choir is all about. Give us a little solo. I think she would be more than capable of.
All right, Tiffany, they're putting you on the spot.
For real?
I'm putting on you the spot.
It's up to you. I won't put anything on you that you cannot bear.
So this is another one of my favorite songs. It's not a choir song, but I really love it. Love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, oh, love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. So that song, when you said that, reminded me. So when I auditioned for the choir, I sang "Soon and Very Soon," and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I was like, "I don't know a song," and so I'm quite sure everybody who was there in the room was like, "Why is he singing that song?" But it was the first thing that came to my mind when I was there. I got in the choir, but it was like, wow. Why did I choose that particular song? I could not think of anything that will give me a solo part or whatever to kind of give them a taste of whatever. So anyway, not about me. So anybody else? Who else wants to do something? You're muted. Everybody else said no. Tiffany is the one. Tiffany is the one we put out there.
Tiffany is the one.
Well, anyway, that was beautiful, Tiffany. I appreciate you you doing that. It's important that we know our gifts, and then we use these gifts to kind of help to help other people, to help, whether it's soothing them, whether it is being there in a spiritual space with them where they need your guidance or they need your perspective on how they can kind of build on their relationship with the Lord, right? And go further and forward. So what else is on your minds? This is Black History Month. And what have you been doing, or how have you been celebrating the month? It's coming to a close in 2 days. So what are some of the things that you have been engaging in?
One thing that I've started to do, I mean, I've been doing it for a few months, but I wanted to focus it on this month, was buying a lot of Black-owned products.
Okay.
I'll say, like, for my natural hair, a lot of times I use hair products that aren't Black-owned, but I just wanted to specifically fund Black-owned hair products this month. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And have they been working out? I see that they have. I see that they're working out.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. They're a little bit more expensive, but it's quality. So
Quality.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, maybe I won't use as much as I usually do.
Right.
All right. What else? What are some of the other things that you're all doing in honor of Black History Month?
Well, for me, I'm just like enjoying some of the old school gospel songs that I used to grow up on. So just like living in, just enjoying that nostalgia of like the gospel songs that got me through when I was younger.
Nice. It's so refreshing to hear y'all talk about the past. Y'all know who James Cleveland is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. See, all right. Thomas Dorsey. You know who Thomas Dorsey is?
No.
You have to look that one up. Father.
Okay.
Hector was getting ready to come in. Who's Thomas?
You caught me there.
I got you there.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
They call him the father of gospel.
Okay.
You might want to go back and look him up.
Absolutely.
I hope I'm saying the right person. I might be wrong, but I believe it's Thomas Dorsey. I've got you asking you a question and then I go mess up, but I believe I'm being correct when I say that. All right, Tiffany, you shared what you've been doing in terms of Black Pride. Lord Janine, you did. Elizabeth, what have you been doing for Black History Month?
What have I been doing for Black History Month? I've been embracing the culture a lot more. One thing that a lot of people tease me on, well, not really tease me, but I finally went natural. I've been perming my hair since my entire life, so I finally went natural.
Okay, nice. And Hector?
Yes, and for me, kind of like you touched on a little bit, just learning more about the history and important figures in African American culture. I am Puerto Rican, so I love to not only learn about Hispanic heritage, but also African American heritage, because there's so many important figures that you can't just learn in 1 month. Year after year, I learn about new people and new experiences that I definitely enjoy.
So they call him the godfather of gospel music.
Okay.
I just looked it up, right? So he was born in July of 1899.
Wow.
And I'm sorry to be looking away from you all. January 23rd, he died in 1993. You may have not been born then. I don't think any of you at that point in time. Maybe you have, I'm not sure. Was an American music composer and Christian evangelist, influential in the development of gospel music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things that was really interesting. So yeah, you might want to do some research in that area in terms of knowing our roots in gospel music. Yeah. So I really truly appreciate you all for being a part of today. I was blown away by the performance on the video. And then I was like, you know what? And I knew that we were going to be on today. I had a chance to kind of communicate with one of your members, Michaela.
Yes.
Yeah, she couldn't be here today with you all, but she, as one of our assistants, she's working over here in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion actually now. And so I think that was part of our connection in terms of getting you all on board. I'm really excited about your journey and where you're going. How much more time? You said you're a senior now, Hector. So how much longer do you have on campus? And Elizabeth, you said you just came on board. So are you a freshman into your sophomore year right now? What's going on with you? And how much more time do we get to have the grace of your presence here on our campus?
At the moment, I'm not 100% sure when I'm leaving because I came in with some extra credits. So right now, though this is my second year, I'm technically classified as a senior. So I'm just trying to slow down a little bit.
Slow down a little bit. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tiffany, how much longer we have you around singing on campus?
Um,
You sing forever, but
yes, my estimated graduation date is, I believe, spring 2022. So
okay.
after this year, it's my last year.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Lord Jean?
It's the same thing for me also, like spring 2022 is my estimated graduate date. So
Excellent. So next year, in January, we're going to be putting forth a cultural festival and a diversity parade. It's going to be, right now it's tentatively January 8th and 9th. And we're going to have sound stage and do different things. We're going to be on Memory Mall, and we're going to do a lot of cultural understanding and love and embracing each culture that we have on our campus. I would love for you all to come and grace us with your presence and your vocal mastery of gospel music. So I'm looking forward. I'm going to hold you all to that next year. It's a few short months away now, as fast as these months have been going. But we're really looking to kind of bring the community together, and that is one of the things that would be phenomenal is if you all could be a part of that experience as well. So I'll be looking forward
Absolutely.
to
We're super excited and honored to be a part of it.
that. Cool. Sounds good. So as we're coming to a close, I want to ask, is there any last minute words of wisdom coming from our gospel choir, our gospel and cultural choir? And actually, before I even go there, how did the name come about? Gospel and cultural choir.
So the name was selected, back in 1979. I don't think it was originally actually called the Gospel and Cultural Choir. I think the name came to fruition a couple years afterwards, because the Gospel Choir was started by the Black Student Union at first, and then it later kind of became its own entity at the university.
Okay.
I think the founders or the first members not only wanted to focus on gospel music, but also cultural music, as Central Florida is such a diverse community. So I think they really wanted to emphasize on gospel and cultural and not just be called the UCF Gospel Choir.
Okay.
And so thankfully we've been able to, not just sing gospel music, but also, African music and Hispanic music in the community.
So, so that's a great testament, right? Because you, as a Puerto Rican male, have also brought in the flavor of the Latinx experience. And what is the makeup of the choir? I mean, is it folks from the Caribbean, folks from Africa, other areas, other ethnicities? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the choir is made up of so many different cultural backgrounds. We have a lot of Haitian students, a lot of Jamaican, a lot of African Americans, and Hispanics as well. So we have a great mix of Caribbean and African flavor within the choir.
So, well, people should know there are no auditions.
Right.
You just have to have a heart for Christ.
Amen. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this could be your plug, right? You want to put a plug in for people to come join you all?
Sure. We are waiting. We are here for you. We are always accepting new members, no matter time or day. As long as you come willing to learn with an open mind and a heart for Christ, we are more than welcome to have you with us.
And you typically meet for rehearsals where and what time?
So at the moment, we are currently meeting at the Nicholson School of Communications building in room 115.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's every Thursday.
And you practice with music or piano? Somebody carries in a piano? I think I remember I had a class in that building one night. And you all wait until like classes are over and then you just go at it, right? So somebody carries a keyboard in there, you play maybe some CDs with instrumental music or whatever have you. What is your practice like? What do you all do?
So our director, she also knows how to play the keyboard, the piano. And so she brings in her own keyboard. And we usually start our practice with a devotional, like a scripture prayer. And then we start warming up. So we do a few stretches and then do a few songs that we all know. And then we just go into the songs that we're practicing.
So you do like a me, me, mamo, moo type thing, or what's the vocal warming up? What's that entail?
Okay, so one of our newest warm-ups is singing a basic song, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and also doing it to make sure all our bodies are good and warmed up, and as well as our vocal cords. So that's one of my favorite ones. And we also do breathing exercises to make sure we hold the note that we're singing with pitch accuracy. So we like breathe in and then like out. So not only does it like help you with your breathing, but it also like relaxes you after a long day. And I think we just go and start a few songs after that.
And what's the day of the week that you all usually practice in time?
Thursday at 7:30.
Thursday at 7:30. All right. Thank you all. Listen, I am so happy that I had the opportunity to have you all on today. I'm so happy that I get to end with your powerful rendition of the Negroes national anthem. I am so proud of you all for the stance that you take in terms of bringing people to Christ. And I thank you all for the grace that you have provided me for being on today's podcast. And so thank you so much. I wish you nothing but success. Again, I'm holding you to coming and being a part of the cultural festival. It's in your name, so you got to be there, and that's the definitive truth. So thank you. Next month, just to let people know that next month is our kickoff for Women's History Month. We have two strong women coming in from the UCF Rec and Wellness and Fitness Center. Its director is Ms. Kyra Dickey, and a fitness coordinator, Ms. Stacy Embry, who was my trainer when I was going into the campus, and she used to kick my butt to try to get me in shape. And so I don't know why somebody put her as one of the people who are going to be on this podcast next week, because now I'm going to have to be accountable to her. But next Wednesday is our show, so let people know. Please let folks know that, who have not got a chance to hear us today, to come and hear you all, especially to hear Tiffany do that phenomenal solo that she put in here. So not only did we have the video, we also have some natural live talent right here in this podcast. So thank you all. I want to thank the individuals who helped to put this together. Got folks behind the scene here, and also the foundation office. So you all have a phenomenal rest of your day, and thank you for being part of Matters of Diversity today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Butler.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Y'all be well.